Hi, everyone, and welcome to Econ 2301. This is Principles of Macroeconomics. I want to make this video to, first of all, introduce myself and also show you different features we have on our D12 platform for this class, and also talk to you about some of the policies and expectations in this class. So again, welcome. I hope you had a wonderful winter break and had a great holiday basically with your friends and family, and you're ready to start this spring semester strong. This is an 8-week class, which starts on January 20th, and then our final and last day of our class will be on March 11th. My name is Dr. Bayanpur Tarani. I am the instructor of the course. I'm a full-time faculty here at Lone Star College Sci-Fair, and I've been teaching here for the last 11 and a half years. I started teaching when I was in grad school. Teaching is my passion, and I really, really enjoy interacting with the students and helping them basically to reach their goals. Um, what else about me? My office is in Tech Building. Of course, this is an online class, but just in case you want to stop by and chat a little bit, you're more than welcome to stop by. However, I prefer, especially for my online students, since I also teach face-to-face classes, to definitely schedule an appointment if you're coming to campus to see me. I teach both micro and macroeconomics here at Lone Star College. And as I mentioned, I teach both face-to-face and online classes. Um, when you log into this class, to this course, you should be able to see my very first announcement. And hopefully this would be a guideline for you to navigate through this course. I put important deadlines here, dates that you need to remember, and where basically you can find everything. I will, of course, break down everything for you, but I also want you to pay attention to the little kind of calendar we have on D12. So every time that you log in, you can see what's going on. And for some reason, and I will talk about, of course, discussions deadline don't show up here, and I don't know why. I will try to, of course, figure it out, hopefully by the time that you're logging in. But if you don't see them, just know that there was like an issue that I had, and make sure that you check the deadlines for the discussions. Of course, my expectations from you would be checking your emails regularly, checking announcements that I will post like this one on D12, and stay at top of all the deadlines. In my weekly announcements and my emails, I will remind you all the deadlines, including the discussions that we don't have here. But again, it's your responsibility not to miss any deadline. Okay. You might be curious to know the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics before we even talk about the syllabus and what you can expect in this class. Remember that in microeconomics, we're focused on businesses, firms, companies, markets, even products and individuals. We look into the economy in more detail. However, in our class, macro, we are focused on countries' economy, nations' economy. Like the topics that we're going to discuss will be very, very different than micro. We will be talking about inflation rate, unemployment rate. We will talk about Federal Reserve as a central bank in the United States, fiscal policy, monetary policy, things like that. But remember that micro and macro are related. And that is why we start actually our classes in both micro and macro with some topics that are foundation of economics. And doesn't matter if you are taking micro or macro, you need to learn them. Topics like demand and supply, cost and benefits, opportunity cost, market failure. For those of you who took microeconomics on our campus, be patient with me, because you will see that the first 5 chapters that we're going to cover are exactly the same as your micro class. The first 4 chapters, excuse me, are exactly the same as your micro class. But when we start our chapter Seventh, basically, you will see the difference between these two classes. Chapter 7 is when we are focused on our very first macro topic. And of course, I combine chapter 6 and 7 together. I know 6, 7, if you have it, if I don't know if you have teenagers around you. My son is 13, so I said 6, 7. They would just tell me 6, 7. Anyways, I combine these two chapters, and we're not fully covering chapter 6 because many of the topics that are introduced in chapter 6 are the topics that we're going to discuss in more detail in future chapters. So we're keeping few things from chapter 6, and our focus will be mainly on chapter 7, where we talk about GDP, gross domestic product, and that will be our main macro topic. So again, be patient if you took micro with us. The first few chapters are exactly the same as micro because they are super duper important and we need them basically to start our macro topics. Okay. Excuse me. So this was just an overview of macroeconomics and the changes and the differences, I should say, between micro and macro. But as we move forward in our class, you will see um, how the topics are different. For those of you who never took any econ class, perfect. These are brand new to you, and hopefully you find them interesting. Um, the very first thing that I want you to do for this class, and of course for any class that you're taking in that matter, is to read the syllabus, okay? And to show you this syllabus, actually, I have to change my setting as always with here as student because my tabs are slightly different than yours, like this one here. So if you want to check out the syllabus will be here. If you just click, you should be able to open the syllabus and check everything that I'm explaining actually to you right here. Starting last semester, we adopted simple syllabus, which is something that that everybody basically in Lone Star is using right now. Of course, we had some issues with it last semester in fall, but this semester we all should use as faculty. Simple syllabus, as you can see, I still need my approval from my dean, but by the time that you log into class, it's ready to go. Um, so you can find syllabus basically for all of your classes here. So let me go back to, sorry, it was my phone. Let me go back to instructor kind of mode because I have all of my stuff there. As you can see, it's different for me. It's under the course management, my syllabus. Anyhow, when you read the syllabus, let me know if you have any question. If you do not have any question, I want you to go to the content week 1, and I will go actually and show you and find a student memorandum form. You can print it out. You can, I don't know, do it even online, save it on your computer, fill it out. So let me go to content and then sign, put your put your student ID. And by basically signing this student memorandum, you are telling me that you are aware of all the policies in this class, you don't have any question, and you're committing yourself basically to do your best in this class, okay? So this is where you can find a student memorandum. If you go to start here, student memorandum, and click, you can just fill it out here, or you can just print it out. I don't know, do it by hand and then upload it again here, take a picture, upload it here. If you have a scanner, scan it. So you can even do it online. Okay, just up to you how you want to do it. But you need to give this back to me by January 23rd. And please do not email me anything. I created a Dropbox here. If you go to course activities and then click on assignments, it will take you to the place where all the Dropboxes for this class are. And here is the Dropbox for student memorandum. But let me also show you the other Dropboxes that we have so I don't come back again here. Anytime I'm talking about Dropbox, this is the route you're taking, course activities, assignments, and then you will see everything here. But again, I'll explain everything if you have a deadline, how you can find the Dropbox. You will see a Dropbox for projects. I will talk about the term projects. I will also offer extra credit for both midterm and final. They're not open yet. They will be open closer to the deadline. But we do have also two other kind of Dropboxes here. Let me go back to the content tab. When you're done with the student memorandum, that's the very first task that you need to do. Then you are basically ready to start week one, okay? I created weekly modules here for you so you can just click and see what's going on in every week, in each week. As you can see, there is a lecture note here that you can study. There are some videos that I recorded like this one, or videos that I found on YouTube and I felt like that they are helpful. So these are short videos on specific topics. Some students really like them. I got feedback in the past, but I also have another type of videos that I typically share in my weekly emails. They are longer and they're videos that I talk basically over the lecture notes. It's like we're sitting in the classroom and I talk. They are longer. Some students love them, some students hate them. So it really depends on like what you prefer, longer or shorter videos. And when you click on the videos that I made, like this one here, it will take you to my YouTube channel. So you can also, explore other videos that I have there. But I try actually to put everything here. And even for the longer videos, you don't really have to wait for me to share them in my weekly emails. You can just, for instance, search chapter one macro, this is macro, chapter one macro, and then it will just pop up and you can just watch. So again, for every week, we have lots of videos. I mainly made them, especially for future chapters, um, and also again lecture notes. Okay. Um, for mid, we have two exams, and as I showed you, the Dropboxes for their extra credit. We have two exams, midterm and final. They will be also in here, but before I show you where you can find them, for week 4, we do have our midterm exam in week 4. And also for the last week, you can find some practice questions and some reviews for midterm and final. So definitely take advantage of them. So week 4 and week 8, are two modules that have practice questions for midterm exam and our comprehensive final exam. So take the advantage of them and definitely review them before each test. Now that we're talking about like exams, let me talk about the textbook exams and homework, and then I will come back to this project, okay? So the textbook that we're using is called Macroeconomics, and McGraw-Hill is the name of the publisher of the textbook. The publisher has a software which is called Connect Plus, that for those of you who take especially business and accounting, I know that many of my colleagues actually use Connect Plus, but even if you're not familiar with that, that's fine. I will explain it here for you. In this Connect Plus that I'm talking about, you have access to electronic textbook. You do have access to graded assignments, non-graded assignments, and also exams, okay? Again, starting last semester in fall, Lone Star has this thing that is called the Star Bundle, that basically you guys don't pay anything for the textbook, extra money, I should say, for textbook, because the textbook fee is part of your tuition. So when you are registered for any class, the textbook is embodied in the book, sorry, in the course. So there's no extra step that you should take, like looking for the book, buying for the book, unless you opted out for the textbook when you were enrolling for this class. If that is the case, then you have to pay separately for the textbook. But the best way to get an access to this Connect Plus that I'm talking about is to click on either Homework 1 or Chapter 1. But let me explain the difference between these two. So we do have smart books that are like this one, like this Chapter 1, Limits, Alternatives, and Choices. They are reading from each chapter. And of course, when I show you how they look like, they are different than what you will see for the very first time that you click, because I already have an account. So when I say launch assignment, I can just start looking at the assignment, which is right here. For you, it will ask you to set up your account and you just confirm, and then you have an access. So it's a very, very short kind of step that you take. And this is how smart books look like. They're readings from each chapter. They are optional. They do not have any grade, but I highly, highly recommend you guys to do them before you do the homework. Because how are you able to do assignment without reading the book? So I tried actually to keep this smart book short. So you go over important part of each chapter. They are very user friendly, very interactive. You can ask it to read out loud. You can highlight, you can take notes. You can answer a few questions at the end of each section and then move on to the next one. I explain it here. I did, and I told you it doesn't have any grade, and it even says right here, but I still get emails, especially towards the end of the semester, asking, are they graded? So the answer is no. Please, please pay attention. They do not have any grade, okay? Don't panic at the end, then you don't see them in the grade book. And I should go and hide actually all the smart books from the grade book because they are not graded. The only thing that is graded in terms of assignment are these homework 1, homework 2 through homework 8. And this is how homework basically work. For midterm exam, we need homework 1 through 4. So I open them on day 1. See, they are open on January 19th and they are due on February 16th. Why February 16th? Because February 16th is the last day that you are able to take the midterm exam. So basically, the first 4 homework that are related to midterm exam are open from day 1, and they are due on the last day that you can take the midterm. Then when we are done with the midterm exam, this is the midterm exam, and you have few days to take the midterm exam. It's also true for final. Then homework 5 through 8 that are for new chapters that we cover after midterm exam will be open. And then they'll be closed on the last day of our class, which is March 10th. And that is the day that the final exam will be closed. Okay, so we have 2 rounds of homework, homework 1 through 4, and then 5 through 8. Okay. When you are done, of course, with 1 through 4, they'll go on a study mode. So when you are getting ready for our comprehensive cumulative final exam, you can go back and review them because they are on a study mode. So you can practice them as many times as you want. But when February 6th ends, and then I'm talking about Tuesday, February 17th, homework 1 through 4 will be closed and I will not open them. Okay. There's no extension for homework. I will drop the lowest homework grade at the end of the semester, but that's all I will do to help. Okay, so please, please, please mark your calendars. Do not miss them. The best way, in my opinion, to do these assignments is that whenever you're done reading a chapter, do the homework, okay? Because you remember everything. Don't wait till February 16th, in my opinion. But again, everybody has different ways of studying. And again, when the midterm comes, when the final comes, you can go back and review, okay? Talking about exams, we have 1 midterm and 1 final, as I mentioned. You have few days to take both midterm and final. You can take them any day that you want. That works for you. But again, I recommend do not wait till last minute to take them. If the deadline is Monday, February 16th for midterm, don't take it at 11 p.m. Because what if you have technical issue? I have 2 kids. I work full time. I'm exhausted. So I'm probably sleeping. Of course, Connect Plus, they have amazing support team. You can chat with them, talk with them. But I don't know if they are working at 11 p.m. to be honest with you. So again, we rarely have technical issues. Make sure you have a good internet connection. That's the only key, I think, for taking online exams. But I always encourage even my online students that come to campus if you have problems at home, at work, if you do not have reliable internet, you can go to our open labs. They are very quiet, and honestly, I think that most students don't know even they exist. We have one in tech building and another one in case building. So you can take the advantage of that. You don't have to come and see me. You can just go there and take your test. Um, both exams are proctored. You need a webcam to take the test. Um, what else? They're timed. There will be a lockdown browser, so pay attention to the time where you're taking them. They're multiple choice true false. When I say proctor, I know that some students become uncomfortable all of a sudden because they feel like, oh, somebody's watching me. Nobody's watching you. Okay. I do 6 classes, so I really don't have time to watch you when you're taking the test live. But yes, the test will be recorded for me to watch later. I might get the red flag while you're taking it. I might get an email from Connect. When do I get those emails? When there are lots of activities going around you, when there are lots of noises in the background, when I don't see your face in the camera. So these are red flags. But again, honestly, I rarely get those emails. So just be relaxed, do your thing, and just focus on your test. Okay. Um, you can have 1 to 2 pages of notes when you are taking your tests. They should be written. Again, I get these email a lot. Can I use my iPad? No, the entire point of proctored exam is for you not to have any electronics around you. So no, the answer is no. It should be 1 to 2 pages written notes, and you have to show me the notes into the camera before you start the test. Um, what else? That's it, I think. That's pretty much it for exams. Review the notes, review the book, and by book I mean smart book. If you don't have the time to read the entire book, review the practice questions that I mentioned already, and you should be fine. Okay. And I'm offering extra credits for both midterm and final. They're optional, of course, but take advantage of them if you want to improve your grade. Okay. I think I explained everything here. Let me talk now about term projects and discussion, then I'll be done. We have a term project. The term project, in my opinion, is really fun. I got good feedback from my students in the past, and it's really easy. So it's a country project. You will hear from me contacting each of you, assigning a specific country to you. And let me open up the handout that I have here for you because I explain more. Everybody will get a country, and this is a macro project, and we will talk about lots of macroeconomic indicators like unemployment rate, growth, some other fun indicators like GDP per capita, things like that, that we're going to try to explore for your assigned countries. And then you are going to compare those numbers that you are digging out from the website that, of course, I put here for you with United States. There are some questions that you are going also to answer when you are done with your research that you are going actually to answer. And the project will be in terms of a PowerPoint at the end. I showed you the Dropbox, right? So when the deadline comes, which is March 2nd, you are going to upload your PowerPoint presentation for me, which includes all the indicators that I'm asking you to find from CIA Factbook. This is the only source that I am going to accept. Okay. If you want to use another website, I have to approve. Okay. But all the data that you need will be right here. Okay. Um, as soon as oh, sorry, this is the wrong deadline. I have to fix this. This is March, from my last semester. It is March 2nd, the deadline. What was I saying? As soon as you see the email from me that assigning your country, I need you to reply to that email. I just want to make sure that you received your assigned country. Okay. Um, so please be on the lookout for that email from me, 2nd or first or second week of the semester, I will send it out. So you know which country you are working on. I think it's really, really fun. A fun project. So you are going to compare United States with your assigned countries. You will see how your assigned country is different from US, and hopefully you will learn a lot from your assigned country. And these are the things I'm looking for. So some fun facts about your country, demographics for US and your assigned countries, um, where they are located at, the name of the capital. Again, these are the things that you are actually going to learn. And when I read actually my students' projects, I also learn a lot. Flags, languages, population, population growth rate. Um, so you are going to also pay attention to the questions that I'm asking here. So I want you to tell me what it means, for instance, for your assigned countries to have a higher or lower population growth than United States. So read the questions that I have here. I'm not going to read it for you. GDP. So these are unemployment rates. So these are the economic indicators that I was talking about. But please pay attention to the questions that I'm also raising in the first column. And then lastly, I want you to also tell me if there was any famous celebrity, politician, I don't know, athlete, anything that might be interesting. And also any historic event that happened in your assigned country that might be interesting. So this is kind of a fun part of your project, okay? Let me also show you another thing that I posted here. And of course, I did it for an imaginary country, but you are going to have a few slides. Um, Please make it fun. Please don't make it too crowded. Sometimes the students put too much information on each slide that is really, really hard to read. But also make sure at the same time that you answer to the question that I'm asking, and just don't put too much information without getting to the point of, the project. So this is just an example for like demographics. Then you're going to talk about the location, language, borders, population, um, things like that. And remember that the project would be for, I should have actually mentioned it. I will revise this little handout that I put here. For 2022, I wanted actually to do for 2023, and even for last year is not complete. There are still some. Actually, we're in 2026 now. Sorry, my mindset was still in 2025. So I will check CI FACO, but all the data for 2023 should be out there. So I will ask you to do your research on 2023 for your assigned countries. So it should be actually very, very interesting. The deadline again would be on March 2nd. Make it fun, have fun with it, and hopefully you will learn something also about it. If you have any question, let me know. Last thing for our class is discussions. We have 3 discussions throughout the semester. When you click on collaboration tab, sorry, I did it fast, and then discussion, you should be able to find discussion. Discussions are open from day one. So you can go ahead and post your answers if you want to. But discussions has basically, each discussion has 2 parts. So the first part is when you answer the question that I raised in the discussion board, okay? So you are going to answer that question. Your answer should not be less than 200 words. We all use internet, we all use textbooks or whatnot, news. Cite your sources, otherwise you're going to lose point. But again, your answer without citation should be at least 200 words. So then you will get 50 points. Another 50 point will come from your feedbacks for your classmates. You should post at least 2 feedbacks for your friends in class to get another 50 points. So even if you want to do all the discussions day one, you can do that, but just make sure that you pay to the um, deadline, and you will go back to the discussion board and leave feedbacks for your friends. Okay, otherwise you're going to miss 50 points. Okay. What else? They're really easy. Just follow, follow the guideline, and then for discussion too, there's no word limit for the discussion, because this is also part of your basically project. This is where I want to make sure that you read my email and you know which countries you're working on. Just three, and then you are done. Okay. I think I covered everything that I wanted to. Let me just go back to my first announcement and just make sure I didn't miss anything. I think I think I explained everything. Okay, if you have any question, please let me know. Um, Remember, I'm here to help you. I always tell my student communication is the key. Life happens. The only thing that I will see in terms of communication would be your grades. And everyone has a different story. If something is happening, please let me know. I'm here to help. Um, Again, shoot me an email if you have any problem, question, concerns. Okay. Allow me 24 to 48 hours to get back to you when you email me. I'm kind of fast in responding emails, except if it's a weekend or I don't know. We don't have, of course, spring break for you. You guys will be done before spring break, but weekends mainly. Again, I'm excited for you to be here, and I'm looking forward to work with every single one of you. Have a great spring semester and take care.